All right, guys, we're back here on Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel. SEC basketball on a Friday, Max, as we get ready to head into the weekend. The final regular season slate on
Yes.
Saturday. We've got updated bracketology. We'll give you some more quick thoughts on the weekend. And yeah, here we are.
It's a beautiful Friday morning. It was rainy all day yesterday. I literally didn't step outside yesterday. One of those under the roof days yesterday, but the sky is parted here. It is March. The CBB gods say, you know what? You can't keep this guy down for too long with the amount of college hoops that he's going to be talking about. It's March, baby. Let's go. Last week of the regular season, last 2 days of the regular season. Last night was crazy around the nation. Iowa almost knocking off Michigan at home. You can just feel the march starting to creep up in these results right here. Come on now. Hop on in here, fellas.
Hop on in. Yeah, we got a lot to discuss as we get into this new bracketology everywhere. And yeah, now we get ready for a big Saturday in the SEC. All right,
Huge Saturday.
let's jump in here as we are going to get into some bracketology. Let's look at it. What do we got? So we're going to go with Lenardi's update. So you can react accordingly. But this is just one of the ones that's been updated this morning. So we're going to go with our friend Joe here and look at what he has for the updated brackets. Here we go. All right. Let's go back to the factory here. Who is it churning out? We know who it's churning out. The same four number one seeds have been churning out for a while. All right. It's Bracket Watch Max. Here we go. New Mexico, the last team in. VCU, the first team out. We'll see what that means for everybody else.
Okay.
He does kind of bring up some notes here on Miami of Ohio. Says, what is it? Basically, last year there's no bid thieves, which allowed North Carolina and its 1-12 quad one record to remain in the field. Year before, we saw a record 5 bid stealers and a large number of deserving teams, including the NIT champion Seton Hall and runner-up Indiana State, missing the dance. So, all eyes on the Redhawks here and St. Louis in the A-10 and the Zags, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara in the West Coast Conference and maybe South Florida in the American. That's another one we haven't really talked about when it comes to what happens with South Florida. So, it's another interesting thing to look at. If they produce upset auto bid winners, one or more bubble teams are going to have a miserable selection Sunday. And he says that could even be considered for Miami of Ohio. So this is what we've been saying. That's why I don't know how many SEC teams on the bubble that are just pure locks right now. And so that's the big issue.
How the heck is New Mexico still in? Didn't they just lose at home to Colorado State by 10 points?
It's the
How
Triton
are they still
effect.
in the bracket?
It's the Triton effect. That's what it is. So if you at one point coached
Yeah.
the Tritons, you get the benefit of the doubt. And they also beat the teams that are surrounding them. They beat Santa Clara. They beat VCU. They beat San Diego State. So that is helping them, I think, too, when you're talking about the head-to-head comparison. So,
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the bracket here. Here we go. All right. So we see Alabama over here. Oh, yeah, 5-12 ball game, Belmont. We got Alabama, UNC Wilmington. This one.
Okay.
UCLA's moved up.
Yeah, UCLA jumping up.
Yeah, Duke UCLA second round could be there. Kentucky, what do you know? what a thrill ride this would be for Kentucky fans to have to potentially play SMU, or Indiana. You kidding me? SMU or Indiana? Please.
In Oklahoma City?
Yeah. I got the Cats in either one of those games. What are these two teams doing in the field here? I did tell you I thought SMU was going to play their way out. They're getting close.
Remember what happened last time we confidently picked the Cats? One of us did.
Yeah, that's a good thought there. Missouri and Miami playing here, so
Okay.
Missouri slides to a 10. I told you, I'm a Missouri fan. I'm not feeling confident unless you beat Arkansas, because there's just too many things that can happen outside of your little bubble there. So,
Like, we have Sam jumping in here saying that this is pointless. We don't have to do this anymore because Michigan is going to win it all anyways.
I don't think so. I watched that game.
Did you
They're
watch
good,
that game
but
last night?
I did. They're good, but they're not unbeatable. And I obviously know Duke just beat them, but I'm sorry. I think in the wrong matchup.
No LJ Kaysen anymore. I don't know about Michigan there. I don't know.
Depends on the bracket. Could I pick them to win it all? Of course I could. Just depends on what the path is to get there. So,
I don't
if they
think
get
I'm
paired
gonna
with
pick
Florida,
no matter what.
no chance.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the other side here. In the Midwest, we've got Arkansas versus South Florida and Philly. Yep.
And then you
then
get Kansas. Jeez.
you get Kansas. Yikes.
Well,
I don't love that for the Hogs.
didn't that work out last time for the Hogs though?
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna lose, but I don't like it for people who are looking for blowouts here. For the Hogs to just run wild by 30 on the way to the Sweet 16.
Yeah, true.
They'll win by 15 in each of those games. No big deal. Vanderbilt has dropped to the 6, playing Miami of Ohio.
Oh gosh.
But to be completely honest with you, if I'm Vanderbilt, I'm okay with this right here. This draw right here in Greenville, give that to me. I'm perfectly fine with that.
That Miami of Ohio game against Vanderbilt just screams like 88 to 84, 17 lead changes.
I mean, that could be the case, but again, if I'm looking at this, I would not hate that bracket if I'm Vanderbilt.
No, I wouldn't.
So, because you got a team that, as good as they are, Miami, Ohio, I think they would match up okay in that game. And then Nebraska, Nebraska's,
How's Nebraska still a 3? They've got to be the worst 3 seed in history. That's an exaggeration, but Nebraska's not that good.
They did beat Maryland,
Oh, okay.
So,
that probably jumps them up 2 seed lines.
Probably so. Yeah, I wouldn't hate this for the Commodores.
Whatever.
Now, I'd hate what they're going to see beyond that.
Gets Nebraska is getting gifted.
We're already, you and I already have Nebraska out in the second round. So,
bounced.
Already. Okay. So there's this one here. Houston St. Mary's would be, or Houston Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Down here, Tennessee and Liberty. So we get a little Tennessee-Virginia second round matchup potentially. Or you get Virginia and Liberty, which would be an interesting.
Or Tennessee and Cal Baptist.
Yeah, that one's not as exciting to me. But I don't see the storylines in that one.
Oh my gosh, look at that 8-9 matchup. Shirts against McCollum.
Yeah, it's a good coaching matchup there.
Ooh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. That is a fun one. Boy, you want to talk about somebody's got to advance to the Sweet 16 out of Purdue and Louisville here.
Yikes.
But I don't love either one of those against whoever okay. Let's just, folks.
Sharpie.
Let me just call it off right now, okay? It's Florida just made the Elite Eight, all right? They're already in the Elite Eight, okay? This is incredible for the Gators. If this is the setup, Florida fans in the chat should be donating. What's that?
Who was their one? Their 1 seed?
They got UConn. Please. Florida's just putting Florida in the Final Four. Incredible. Look at this path for the Gators. Of course, remember, they can't play Texas A&M in the second round, so this would not be the case. But
could they play TCU either?
It's only if you play twice, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, wait. So I guess technically, there's a lot of. I always forget how the rule works on that, but it's something about how many times you played. So maybe they could. I don't remember how it works.
But this potential path for Florida would be Texas A&M or Villanova without their power forward now. Villanova's Matt Hodge out for the season.
Yeah.
In Tampa, okay? And then you get Purdue, Louisville, Santa Clara, or New Mexico, who I don't know how New Mexico's in the tournament. I've watched their last few games. They're terrible. Same thing can be said for Louisville. Same thing can be said for Purdue. There's an Elite Eight. And then Virginia, Tennessee, UConn. Yikes.
Yeah. Gators. All right, let's go over to this part where we've got. By the way, Brian's asking, is Merrimack? Is that an old Civil War submarine? Could be. Could be on the Merrimack here. Okay.
The USS
Georgia's
Merrimack.
up to an. How about Georgia? Look at this for the Dogs. Look where we're at here. Up to an 8 for the Dogs. You'd love to find a way to get to a 7. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I like them getting to an 8 though. I'd like it better if they get to the 7. Because
I think I like that draw there, Georgia against NC State.
I don't love the second draw against Arizona, but they could be playing UMBC. We've seen this before, so Georgia to the Sweet 16.
Wait,
Mark
what's
it down.
UMBC? What are they? They got a cool mascot. Darn it.
They're the Giant Killers. That's what they are.
They're
The
21
Dragon
and 8
Slayers.
are the Retrievers. The Retrievers.
Yeah, they're about to retrieve some Wildcats.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We've got a bit of a mess here, I think, in this group. Texas dropped to 0. Oh, yikes. Well, I don't like this for the Longhorns.
Okay.
The team we had in the Final Four and Elite Eight may not even make the tournament. Yeah. I don't love this for them.
What's Texas got here? They're against A&M, right? No, they're not.
Yeah.
They're against Oklahoma. That's what it is. Yep. I'm getting my bubble teams mixed up.
Yeah.
So if Texas loses to Oklahoma,
They're in trouble.
they're then Dayton, right?
I think at best they're in Dayton. Yeah.
Ooh. All right.
So, and I think let me see if I'm wrong on this, which is always a possibility, but I think depending on how it plays out, what was the result between Auburn and Oklahoma? Why am I forgetting this? Who won?
Auburn and Oklahoma. It was
Oklahoma won, right?
Kind of handily, 91-79.
Okay. So, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, no. So they couldn't fall to the. All right. So that actually works out okay for Texas, but there was an SEC tournament scenario that was going to be even a bit rough for them. So I don't know. All right. Who else we got?
That's it then. Then we got BYU dropping to a. Was BYU all the way down to the 7 line? They were a part of the 6 seeds that we've been monitoring how poorly they've been doing.
BYU?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dropped from a 6 to a 7 there. Yep.
Okay. So the last 4 buys, A&M, Missouri, Texas, that's the order he has. Then it's Santa Clara, SMU, Indiana, New Mexico. And then you got VCU ahead of Auburn, which I'm going to say we kind of called that. I think when you looked at the resumes, it made more sense to put VCU ahead of them for now. And then Virginia Tech and Cincinnati. And why is Virginia Tech that close? They are one to watch, I'm telling you, because they're playing Virginia on Saturday. And remember, they've already beaten Virginia this year. So if they were to win that game, I think Virginia Tech jumps into the field, probably knocks out a New Mexico, because a win at Virginia would be significant for Virginia Tech. So that's something to consider. And it just, to me, pushes Auburn a little further back unless Auburn wins. And, this whole Auburn thing, it's very simple now. They have to win. If they don't win, they're out. Done. No debate. If they win, I think there's a decent chance they're going to get in, but they have to win. Period.
Also,
Cal.
is there a chance that Cincinnati wins at TCU on Saturday and they jump? I mean, they're going to end the year right now. They've won 6 out of their last 7, and just look at how different the optics are for Cincinnati and Auburn right now. Both, I mean, Cincinnati 17-13, similar kind of disappointing season there, and much different Februarys for both teams. I wouldn't be surprised if Cincinnati jumps Auburn as well.
Doomsday scenario for the SEC on Saturday. Texas loses at home to Oklahoma. Missouri loses at home to Arkansas. A&M loses at LSU. Like, total, just, I mean, we're looking at that point of like multiple teams in this group getting left out.
Getting left out, yeah.
So that's your doomsday scenario, I think, if you're looking at it from that standpoint. Yeah, because like we said, I think you're going to have teams like potentially Virginia Tech and Cincinnati pushing to get into that last 4 in, and if the teams that are in the last 4 in keep doing their thing, then we're talking about, a lot of potential juggling here for some of these teams, and it's going to be a hard decision when you're choosing between some of these if you add another loss for those teams, which, I mean, Missouri would be the only team that would not have a bad loss in that scenario, but you also can't get beat by 20. So, A&M and Texas, those would be bad losses.
This Saturday is just massive because you also have VCU playing at Dayton. KenPom has that as a pick'em. You have New Mexico playing against Utah State, projected underdog. So there is a scenario where you could have both New Mexico and VCU lose on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think Cal is going to get knocked out of the equation. They play at Wake Forest on Saturday, and for some reason, I'm like, I think they're going to lose that game. They didn't look great against Georgia Tech. They wound up winning by 11. Yeah, I was going to say, but remember, Georgia Tech's lost a million games here. So I don't know. And Cal's resume to me is not that impressive. Their non-conference strength of schedule is very weak too. So I don't really see a scenario where they jump up unless they just were to go on a ridiculous run. And so I kind of am looking at that group in the next 4 out, and I'm like, I don't really see it with any of those kind of making enough of a push to jump these other teams, because I think you got too many combinations ahead of them right now, resume-wise. So, yeah, I think you're looking at, if you're an SEC bubble fan, I'd be rooting for Virginia to beat Virginia Tech. You'd like to see Cincinnati get knocked off by TCU. I mean, VCU again, Dayton, that's a pick 'em. Who'd we say Indiana has left?
I forgot about Indiana.
Oh, they got Ohio State on the road. So I'd be rooting for Ohio State, even though they're right there. But pushing Ohio State forward is much better than pushing Indiana forward. So I think Ohio State probably wins that game. And then
Santa Clara is done.
Yeah, we're not. I think Santa Clara is going to get in.
Santa Clara is locked in.
I'd be surprised if they don't. And then with SMU,
at Florida State,
Mustangs heading to Tallahassee. Yeah, I could see Florida State winning that game.
There could be a scenario here where A&M, Missouri, Texas, SMU, Indiana, New Mexico, VCU, and Auburn all lose on Saturday.
It's possible. It's possible. Unlikely, but possible.
Or at least the majority of them.
Yeah.
Only a few. Only 2 or 3 of those teams grab wins out of all these teams in this graphic right here. A lot of projected underdogs on Saturday.
Yeah. All right.
Well, you know who's not pictured? The Sooners.
Yeah, my goodness. Oh. Thankfully, we don't have to debate that one right now. We don't want to be debating Oklahoma just yet, okay? We need to wait a little bit. They got to beat Texas. Then if they beat Texas, they're going to jump into this thing. So just be ready for it. We're going to be talking about Oklahoma. So,
Yep.
By the way, I'm looking at Seton Hall's resume right now. They're on the board right now. And this is why, like, if you want to understand why Oklahoma could move into this picture, can I tell you Seton Hall's resume, Max?
What do I got?
Here is their best win in conference play. Okay, just in Big East play. You ready? They're 10-9. Their best win is going to be at home against Creighton, who is 15-16. That's their best win according to KenPom. All right?
It's not ideal.
Their best non-conference win. Actually, I'm going to give you the top two. Are you ready for this? Sit down. Make sure you're sitting down for this one.
I think I am, yeah. What do we got?
They beat NC State by 11 on November the 24th, and then they won at Kansas State, who is 12-18. How is this team anywhere near the NCAA tournament right now? Because you got to field 68 teams. That's why. If Oklahoma wins, they're jumping Seton Hall. They're jumping Stanford. That's it. I'm campaigning for the Sooners.
Seton Hall's offensive efficiency is 155th. Their defense is 13th.
Seton Hall shoots 31% from 3, 49% from 2. Those are both sub 296th nationally.
Yeah.
Get them out of here.
That's why I don't
Get them out of here.
That's why I do not like UConn this year. The Big East stinks. Stinks. It reeks.
It's not good.
It's like the worst Creighton team of my lifetime, one of the worst Providence teams, one of the worst Butler teams, one of the worst Marquette teams, one of the worst Xavier teams. St. John's is okay. Villanova's okay. That lake stinks.
That's why I'm not buying St. John's, man. I know what their record is, but I'm also looking at who they're playing, and I don't know, man. So
you just go to the Big East like 2 years ago, and you've got UConn #1 overall. You've got Tyler. You got Kolek and Cam Jones on Marquette running around. You got Shireman and Kalkbrenner on Creighton. St. John's is good. Villanova is good. Providence is good. Sean Miller's still at Xavier. Fast forward 2 years. Woo.
Yeah. Like even Stanford. I'm looking at Stanford, and if I'm sitting them side by side with Seton Hall, there is the gap the size of the Grand Canyon between these two. Because Stanford has beaten SMU, noted juggernaut. They've beaten North Carolina. They've beaten Louisville. They've won at Virginia Tech. They've beaten St. Louis. Like, these are pretty good, decent group of wins for Stanford. Now, they've also lost to Seattle, UNLV, 47-40 at home against Notre Dame. Why didn't people alert us about that game? We'd have been talking about that one for months. They also lost at home by 12 to Cal. They lost at Florida State. They lost at Wake Forest. They lost at Cal. All right, you know what? Oklahoma's back, baby. They're back. Put the Sooners in the field.
Dude, that's why a team like VCU, who's playing good basketball, who's hot right now, I don't know how they're on the outside getting in, because all these teams are acting like they don't want anything to do with the tournament.
You watch. Seton Hall's going to go get to the Big East final just to spite us.
Wouldn't shock me. They got to play the school of the blind.
Oh, my. All right. So there you go. There's the updated brackets. Let's look at the SEC and the Big Ten, both with 10. And, yeah, everything else. Mountain West only 2. Down year for the Mountain West. So, and one of those just hanging on, right? So, yeah, how about that, too? There you go. That's the bigger, glaring one. So,
jeez. What's the difference between the Big East and the WCC this year? Nothing.
Yeah. Enjoy it, WCC fans, because next year it all changes. So, the Zags heading to the Pac-12. Are you just excited to be able to talk about the Pac-12 again?
Who's on the broadcast?
Let's see. They're gonna.
They bring back Dave Pasch?
who is going to be. Well, you can't bring back Dave without Bill. So
I know.
You can't do that. You can't do that. I don't know, but that's going to be an interesting conference next year.
Yeah.
Let's watch the Zags beat these other teams by 25. All right.
Yeah. Didn't Oregon State get out of? Or no, who was it? Who left the WCC to go to the? We got Washington State and Oregon State. Yeah, they get 1 year of Gonzaga, and then Gonzaga's like, see you later.
This is going to be something. All right. There you go. Let's see. Okay. There's the bracket.
So we'll tie the Big Ten with 10 teams?
I think so. People keep asking how many SEC teams are going to get in. It's a little bit of a slippery slope now because I think, again, a lot could go wrong for the SEC on Saturday. But you could also have A&M simply take care of business at LSU. You could have Missouri beat Arkansas. And you could have Texas take care of business against Oklahoma. And all will be fine if that happens. I think the chances of all three of those happening are very low. But it's the final Saturday in the regular season. There's going to be some chaos. So
you want the bid distribution from Torvik here? Percentages of each bid? 8 bids, 3.3%. 9 bids, 32%. 10 bids, 57%. 11 bids, 8%. So 57% for 10. If it's not going to be 10, much higher chance it's 9 rather than 11.
Well, you know me, the ultimate pessimist. I'm looking at 9 here, and I'm starting to see some paths to get there, but hopefully that's not the case.
Hopefully we avoid that. Yeah.
Hopefully not the case.
9 or 10.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Let's tell you about some sponsors real quick.
Oh, yes.
A&D, collar.com, performance menswear brand. They invented the Workleisure. I forgot we are going to do the unboxing this morning. I got all the stuff up here in the thing.
Oh, the Ann Collar unboxing.
Yeah, I've got all of these. So,
a parcel has arrived in the mail.
Maybe I should go grab that in a second. But for now, head over there. Pants, quarter zips, button-ups, pants, suits, polos, pants, SEC 16, 16% off over at andcollar.com, A-N-D, collar.com. Head over there, check them out. Tremendous material.
Yeah.
So, may unbox it here in just a second. All right, ROKFORM, ROKFORM.com, the world's strongest magnetic phone case, extreme protection, super strong magnets, rock lock, secure mounting, SEC 25, 25% off over at ROKFORM, case, accessories, all kinds of stuff, golf accessories, they got it all. Head over there, SEC 25, 25% off over at ROKFORM. And Icon wallets, they're icons. You want a wallet. Goes great. So, head over there for the premium Napa leather. They have the 3 interchangeable university icons. And they are officially licensed collegiate wallets. Go grab one of those SEC 16 for 20% off over at Icon Wallets. All right. What do you got?
Did you see the Jaxon Richardson news? Alabama picked up a...
I saw Jaxon Richardson's news.
Yeah, well, that's why I brought it up.
I saw that.
For those of you that aren't chronically online,
what are you doing? What are you doing with your life if you're not chronically online? Well, come on. It's 2026. Come on.
Get with the program, people.
Jeez.
Top 30 recruit, depending on what outlet you look at. Top 30 recruit, the son of Jaxon Richardson, brother of Jace from Michigan State last year. Jaxon Richardson, about a 6'5", 6'6" wing, was down to Creighton and Alabama, and all of the recruiting analysts said Creighton, and Jaxon said Alabama. And then there was a bit of a, what do you want to call it, Blake? A back and forth there between some recruiting analysts and Mr. Richardson about how it all went down, a little bit of drama on the timeline. But basketball-wise, this is really big for Alabama. Was losing a lot on the wing. The projected wing next year was going to be probably a London Jemison spot there. So now you add a little bit of versatility.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as always, I I withhold judgment until I see who's coming back and who's
Yep.
not. And I think it's just hard to pair them together. But yeah, he's a good player. And yeah, that Jaxon Richardson tweet was it was something. So we just talked about him.
In defense of Tipton, there's so many different things that he reports on, and if he gets 99 things right and then he gets one thing wrong in a month, the only thing you hear about, or at least that comes on my timeline, is that one thing he gets wrong, and then everyone's just bashing on him. So he's in a tough spot with all the agents and conflicting reports and stuff like this. So I will give the guy a break. It's a tough spot.
That's why I don't do that job. I have no desire to be in the middle of that game that's being played between AAU coaches and all. It's a hard thing because, I mean, it's just like, again, you have lots of stuff where, and I understand it, like, from, again, like, if you're a parent, if you're an AAU coach or whatever, like, you're trying to get these guys on the radar. Like, you're trying to help get these guys in the best position. And so it's like you have to decide who knows what, and like all this. It's just, it's not an easy job. That's why there are only a select few that can do it. So, all right, what else we got here? People were talking about Bill Self retiring in the chat. Crash says that there's some scuttlebutt that Self might retire soon. There's some scuttlebutt that some other high-profile coaches might also retire soon. So we will see what that looks like.
Have you scuttled?
You never underestimate the coaching carousel in this era. I'll just say that. It's like, I don't think we should ever go in acting like this is just going to be some perfectly crafted, okay, this guy didn't get the job done, he's going to get fired, and then all this. But no, there's going to be more than that, I think, this upcoming off season. But we'll see.
Sam, don't get out of yourself.
Oh, here we go. So Sam automatically thinks I'm talking about Rick Barnes. Oh, my. Sam brings out the all caps. That's how you know he's excited.
Yeah, that's how you know he's perking up.
All right. How about this? So we didn't make picks for every game on Saturday just because we got behind this week. But how about we do rapid-fire choices? Are you ready for this? Rapid-fire picks for the rest of the Saturday games that we didn't do in our featured predictions yesterday. We did do Florida, Kentucky, Arkansas, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Tennessee. You ready for the rapid-fire picks? Let's go. South Carolina and Ole Miss.
Ole Miss.
Yeah, got to pick Ole Miss there. Rebels going to finish the season on a little bit of a, I don't want to say hot streak, but like they're playing better. Yeah, I wouldn't discount the idea. Depending on what their draw is in the SEC tournament, they could pull off an upset or two. So, discount it.
They have
Georgia at Mississippi.
Too.
Yeah, Georgia at Mississippi State.
Georgia.
I feel like I have been banking on Mississippi State upsetting someone for like a month at home. And it usually doesn't happen. They did beat Auburn, I guess. But, yeah, it's hard to pick against Georgia right now. The hump's not been humping this year. So it's hard to pick Mississippi State in this spot. All right, Texas A&M at LSU. Ooh, hate this game for the Aggies. Hate it.
Yeah, that's the tough one. What's the projection on it? 2 points. It's going to be a public short road dog. I hate it. But like, it's not a good spot to be in the last game of the season. How many seniors? Oh my gosh, it's Max McKinnon senior night. Oh Lord.
Oh, he's going for 35.
Yeah, he's going for 40. And I'm going to fade myself. Going with A&M, I think LSU wins.
Yeah, a little emotional hedge here. I'm going to go with A&M on this one. So, a little emotional hedge in this game. Okay, Auburn and Alabama. Let's get this clip ready for all the Auburn fans. Are we giving Auburn a shot here?
Well, I've been saying all week, the road game in this is one. The road team's won 3 in a row. You do not want to be the home team in this matchup.
No.
But there is nothing from Auburn lately that I know they just beat LSU by 14 at home. I cannot pick them on the road lately. When's the last time they've won a road game? January 24th at Florida. You got to be kidding me. That's the last road game they won. What are the chances, man? I'm going Alabama. That's crazy, though.
You know how this works. Everybody's written the Tigers off, and somehow they're going to find a way in a game like this. But if they do, we'll talk about it afterwards because I'm not talking about it before because I'm picking Alabama. So, yeah, it's a hard spot for Auburn, I think. I could see this going one of two ways. Like I said, Alabama just comes out and just steamrolls them, or because they're just on a mission to like basically finish Auburn's season, or Auburn comes out with its best game of the year and finds a way. So, I don't know. Okay.
Wait a second. Wait a second.
What?
Okay, I knew this, but it hadn't clicked in my head. Auburn's only won 2 true road games all year.
They won at Florida, of course, because that makes sense.
And they won the game before that on Tuesday against Ole Miss.
And they beat Ole Miss.
That's it.
Yeah.
This sport, man. Doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yeah. All right, and then Oklahoma at Texas. You ready for this? I'm picking Oklahoma.
Oh, any reasoning or just your gut is just saying
it's a gut pick. All right.
You got to go with those.
It's a gut pick. I don't think this is the kind of matchup that's great for Oklahoma, but it's a gut feel. All right. So.
No, I like those picks. I'll probably go with your gut. I'll probably go with your gut here.
That.
But at the same time, I might not go with your gut because I don't know if I can physically. I don't know if my body will allow it. There might be steam coming out of my ears if I pick against Kendall Weaver's senior night.
Well, of course.
Gosh.
But also think about how your body's going to react if Oklahoma pops up on Sunday on Joe Lunardi's 7th team out.
You're not wrong.
I mean, it's you kind of got a win-win here either way for you.
Yeah.
This is your win-win game. So,
yeah. You know what? I want to see the Sooners on some more graphics. Give me Oklahoma.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Oklahoma on the road here. I don't know what it is. I just think the Sooners they're due here. They're due. So, all right, there are quick picks for Saturday. How about that? By the way, I like this question from Elliot. Do you think Golden was in on Bruce's plan to cement Steven as head coach at Auburn by giving him the best win in SEC play? It's the best thing I've heard. Yes, there's no question. Like, no question, right? Not even a doubt at this point.
Yep.
Not even a doubt.
Did you see the quote from Bruce Pearl that was like...
The nepotism thing?
Yeah, like, did I give my son the job through nepotism? You bet I did. Like, okay.
I'd like some more context. I didn't watch the interview. It's, you can see something and maybe how he said it. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch the interview.
Yeah,
so
quotes usually taken out of context there, but I was just like, jeez, man.
Anyways, all right. So there you go. That's the Saturday slate, as we said. You know who to root against if you're a bubble team. You need to be rooting for yourself if you're a fan of a bubble team, for sure. And we will, have all of it covered tomorrow. I'm trying to think, is there anything else we need to get to on the way out?
I do.
Here?
We don't have to if you don't want to, but the Basket Under the Review, the Burner Ball Discord, Trilly, he does like a coaching carousel graphic kind of, and it's got like hot seat, monitoring closely, hot seat next year, hot commodities, stuff like that. And it hasn't been updated for 2 weeks, but if we wanted to pull that up real quick, I could.
Sure.
We don't have to.
No,
you want to just to see the coaching, what Trilly says real quick?
Now, is this a publicly available document that we're using? Why don't you just grab a few names off of there?
Okay, yeah. I know.
Why don't you just do that?
How about this? I'll do some monitoring closely. He's got a hot seat tier who I think you guys can just kind of go by, by high majors that haven't been good for a few years, you can kind of put it away that they're on a hot seat. But monitoring closely, like 50-50, Trilly has a few high majors: Steve Forbes at Wake Forest, Diebler at Ohio State, Georgia Tech, Penny Hardaway, Memphis, the Rutgers job, the Pitt job, Dayton is a good job. So there's a few, like, those could cause some domino effects. Those are domino effect jobs. Diebler is out at Ohio State. All right, who comes in at Ohio State? He's got to leave from somewhere. Same with a nice job like a Memphis. If Penny Hardaway isn't there next year. So those are a few like domino effect kind of higher major 50-50 jobs.
Interesting. Yeah, I think Memphis one's kind of fascinating, but I don't know.
Have you seen like how emotional Penny's been lately?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a guy who, again, if you think about, like, he wants it to work so bad.
Right.
And, I mean, I will say this, though. Like, this is really the first, like, down year they've had. They've had some disappointing years, but they haven't had, like, down years,
No.
right? But, I mean, it's also, what, year 8? They've only made the tournament 3 times and haven't advanced beyond the second round. So, I mean, again, unfortunately, like, that's kind of that's what Cal created there. I mean, not that Memphis wasn't good before Cal, because they certainly had some great periods as well before that, but that's the expectation that you've set. And so I don't know.
Sam's asking where Tennessee is. Truly actually has it's called Old Guys. It's just coaches that are up there in age that you could, if they were to say, all right, that's it for me, you wouldn't be shocked by it just because of how long they've been around. You've got, like Jamie Dixon, Patino, Wayne Tinkle, Thad Matta, Greg McDermott, Tad Boyle, Mark Few, Rick Barnes, Bill Self, Kelvin Sampson, Dana Altman. There's just kind of that group of coaches that are, if they were to retire, it would be at a, it would be reasonable. And those are also big time. I mean, all of those I just listed pretty much are big domino effect jobs.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. That's why, again, there's going to be one of those, I feel like, every offseason now for the next several years. And that's going to just swing things a lot because you're going to have a potential high profile job with one of those kind of coaches that becomes open, and then everything starts to domino from there. So,
and especially I mean, some of those bigger ones, Zags, Houston, Kansas, Michigan State, Oregon, Tennessee. These are they're making big hires after.
We're 2 days away from having to fill out your SEC awards. Are you excited about that? Because I'm not. I'm not excited about it at all. Like yesterday, I'm spending like 30 minutes thinking about my player of the year and just really going back and forth on where I'm at right now. So maybe Saturday, maybe tomorrow, the awards committee may just simply have their eye on the prize tomorrow and say whoever outperforms tomorrow may be the winner. So
it seems like the debate is down to Tommy H against Acuff, from what I can see.
That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah. Now, if Condon goes for 40 tomorrow, I may push Alex Condon to the top, but Count Kondo has made a push here late.
I think the harder decision is what one person do you leave? Excuse me. What one person you leave off your first team between the 3 Florida bigs and then the 3 guards of Philon, Tanner, Acuff. You can't have all of them on. You got to leave every single person that fills out an SEC ballot for a first team. You have to leave one of Acuff, Tanner, Philon, Hauk, Condon, Chinyalu. You've got to leave one of them off your first team. I haven't even mentioned Ament, Gillespie, and a whole other list of guys. You got to leave. Someone's getting absolutely screwed from the first team.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be one of those Florida guys.
No, it will be. I think a lot of people, or I think in terms of the voting, it's probably going to be hard to get all 3 of them on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be tough though. It's going to be tough to not put them on there. So there'd be no bias in the chat when it comes to which player we should leave off, I'm sure. But yeah. So all right, we will get our awards ready. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and give you a little spoiler on one of my awards. You ready? King Ruben's the Defensive Player of the Year. Sorry. There you go. If you don't want to waste your time, there you have it. Okay.
Check how many bully ball forms we're up to. Let's see real quick. Last year we were at 44. We had 44 ballots last year upon ballot conclusion. Right now we are at 39. Come on, folks. We can beat it. Let's get to 50. It's the pinned tweet to my Twitter, Max Barr CBB. Get your bully ball team voting in.
All right, we're out of here. Check out our predictions, all that good stuff. We'll have a gazillion reaction streams tomorrow, most likely. So turn on your notifications so you know we go live, all that good stuff. Yes. All right. Appreciate you watching. We'll talk to you soon here at Southeastern 16, presented by FanDuel.